What is up, guys? A lot of people ask me how did I play my Necro, and a lot of people were saying about they want to see a Wellomancer build, and I was like, hey, I do not mind. I love talking about it. I talk about it with my guild all the time, me and this other Necro that I play with. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's talk about it, guys. This is the way I play it. I mean, there's so many ways you can change it. I'm just going to give you my build, and then from my build, you can either copy my build or you can do your own type of build and make your own. It all depends on your play style and your perspective of how you play the class and everything like that. So let's get started on the traits. I guess that's the best way to start. I do put 10 points into power here because I kind of like when I'm down I do 50 more damage. I think that's just a really good skill to have. Of course you can use this and put it into something else, because I mean you do need power, so I did put, you know, additional 100 power and 10% condition damage, so that's gonna help you a lot. But it's like I had to max out curses and blood magic. I just had to. So the 10 points, you could put 10 points into soul reaping here, because I mean Death Shroud is always good. More Death Shroud is always good. You know, you can move 10-15% faster, yada yada. And then for curses, of course I maxed out the 30, gives you 300 precision and condition damage, which is also good. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I did go crits, which I'll get to in a little bit. I did get some crit chance, so this really helps. The crit chance have 66% to cause bleeding, and bleeding as a Necro, there's a lot of bleeding skills. But let me not get ahead of myself. What I picked here is, which is when you're using a well, I think this is a must-have right here. A must-have. Chilling Darkness. When you blind the foe, it applies 1 second of chill. So that's always good. And where that comes in handy is the Well of Darkness here, which is every tick gives them blindness for 3.5 seconds. Or 3.25 seconds, should I say. It's 5 seconds duration, and it ticks every 5 seconds. So that's 5 seconds there, you know, that they're kind of trapped in there. Well, not 5 seconds, but yeah, if they're in there, they're gonna get chilled. So it's gonna be harder for them to even roll out or anything like that, unless they have a teleport, which probably be like the only way to really get out in time. We get 5 points when entering Death Shroud, which is always good. I do a combo with Death Shroud when I lay down all my AoEs and I pop Death Shroud, so that's always good with damage. I put down Enfeebling Blood as I enter Death Shroud, which also gives me some lifesteal, and 2% increased damage for each condition on a foe, which is also really good, especially with the bite attack. And of course, condition damage inflicted by the scepter lasts 33 seconds. I mean, 33% longer. So all these conditions here that you see last 33% longer. It's an amazing skill to have. If you have a lot of crit, a lot of me and my friend were talking about switching this one to, let's see here. Yeah, here it is right here. 25% chance to cause weakness on critical hits. So that's a really good skill to have, because weakness is actually pretty strong. And you could, you know, switch this one to like, since you do have a lot of bleeds, you can switch to, oh, hold up, did they remove it? No, here we go. 20% bleeding duration, which is always good. Reason why is because I use a scepter and a dagger, and you get bleeding on about 3 attacks here. So this one does bleeding, Grasping Dead does bleeding, and Enfeebling Blood does bleeding. And Enfeebling Blood, oh yeah, I made a mistake here. This is what it casts when you use this right here, Enfeebling Blood. This is what it casts when you enter Death Shroud. So that's just amazing weakness right there. So it depends on what you like. You know, I go this right here, and I do the scepter because it's always good to have stacks of poison and bleeding on them. I mean, and you can get your bleeding from somewhere else as well. All right, so I don't really touch death magic too much. It's not really, I mean, there's some good stuff in there, but not really stuff that I really use. So even though I would love the toughness and boon duration, well, I don't really have that much boon duration. I think the skills are all kind of mixed up. I mean, Wells, there's well attacks here and everywhere. It's like a lot of the stuff is mixed up for the Necro, but I mean, I still love it. For death magic here, you increase your vitality, which is always good for a Necro, and healing, which surprisingly does not help with lifesteal. Siphoning blood does not. It doesn't help, and it would be so awesome if it did. I mean, even a percentage of it. It might be overpowered if they don't do it right, but it would be awesome. It would be awesome to have that. You get 5 seconds of regeneration when your health reaches 90%. 30-second cooldown. That's always good. I decided to get the 50% more effectiveness for siphoning health because I do the well. Siphon health every time it pulses. So when you lay all these down, I get health every time it ticks for each enemy that's in there. So I just get, like, this stays full. My health stays full all the time when I lay those things down. And I will lay down all 3 of these and then lay this one down if I'm getting low after the fact. So you can also do, for instance, crit damage. You can siphon health when you crit. Stuff like this. There's lots of other things to pick. You know, I don't really need that. I was thinking about that at one time, but really, I only have 2 skills here for the dagger. I don't think it's really worth, you know, 50% more effectiveness. Of course, every time you hit a foe, you get health back, you get lifesteal, which is always good. Of course, a must. Wells recharge 20% faster. It's amazing. It cuts some of these skills down by like 10 seconds. It's just so good to have. So good to have. Deal 5% more damage when your health is above 90%, which is always good because you always have full health when you lay down these wells. So you're doing 5% more damage. So it just, when I say it does massive AoE in the other video, I say it does massive AoE. It's totally fun to do it in PvE. And of course, wells siphon health every time, every pulse. So even for the magic, a lot of people don't know this, but even for the healing, not magic, what am I saying? Even for the healing one, it hits the foes and it still siphons health from them. So that's the basic trait build there. As I said, you can switch it around to see what you like. You know, you can move these, but I kind of like the 10% duration because I mean, us as Necros, we do so many conditions that it's really helpful to have. Now here I'm lazy, so I have a bunch of emerald orbs on there because I was trying a crit build instead of the duration build I was doing. But I do have these here so I can show you what else you can actually do with that. Now I have the carrion armor here, which is power, vitality, and condition damage. And condition damage is the main trait, so you'll get like 45 from this. It'll be the biggest trait on each of them. As I said before, I do use Scepter Dagger because it does a lot of weakness and bleeding. What I do is I lay down the AoE and then a Deadly Swarm, and then I finish them off with a Feast of Corruption because it does 8% per condition. So, and of course Life Force Steal, which will allow you to pop this again, which is amazing combo to keep going with. Just laying down all these wells and then laying down your Enfeebling Blood and Grasping Dead. It's, oh my gosh, I can't explain. I'm going to show you, of course, after I show you all the details on how I play the Necro, and then, you know, you can go leave me down what tips you have or what tips you acquired while playing the Necro. Any other Necros out there, you can leave it down in the comment section below so people who are beginning Necros can read if I miss anything in this build. Right now I have the Emerald Orb for the crit damage because, like I said before, I was trying out the toughness, power. I always go with toughness and power because toughness as a Necro, you have so much health that it's awesome to have some toughness with it. So you see me, I have 2.3 armor right here, which is pretty decent. Warriors and Guardians have like what, like around 3k-ish in average, so that's not too bad there. My health is always large like that because the Necro, you have, if you guys didn't know this, Necros and Warriors have the highest health in the game, base health in the game. So more health is always good, especially because I have my trait here. I have additional 300 health there. Alright, so I do have a healing set as well of rings and amulets and such, which is very, very, very good when it comes down to Well of Blood. As I said before, it does not stack with the lifesteal, which absolutely sucks in my opinion. I mean, it should have some type of percentage of the healing power, especially because blood magic has healing in it. Like, it doesn't make any sense that it's here but it does not count towards the lifesteal. It does not make any sense to me, but you know, that's just me complaining, don't mind me. So I decided to go with crit damage, but the healing build is actually pretty good. I've seen some people in the comments that actually use it because you can just go healing and toughness and power, and you could just sit there and take a lot of damage, especially with your wells down, and they can't really kill you really fast at all, even if there's like 3 people on you. I've taken down 3 people before, not, you know, of course just me, but me and another friend. It's pretty easy because they focus you thinking that you're gonna die, and you go, what I do is as soon as I go to half health, I pop my Death Shroud and then do my life transfer, which is awesome as well. And if you have a trait that while you're in Death Shroud, life transfer as you heals your allies, which is, you can just heal them as well, especially with if you already popped the Well of Blood. But anyways, let me get down to the build here. I have the Carrion set. What you can do, a set of the crit damage that I have here, what I did is before I did the bleeding duration. So what you can do is you drag them and put them on 2 armor pieces, and you're gonna get the first 2, which is for this one, afflicted would be condition damage and 15% bleed duration. Now let me remind you that bleed duration right here, 4 seconds here, and your second attack does 4 seconds as well, as you see there, rendering curse. So that's really good to have. Then you can add another one that gives you 25 power, right? Another 2. You only could put, if you're doing this set here, you can only pick 3 of these runes here. I have 4, but you can only pick 3. So you can go full out bleed duration, which is as you see there, that's 30% there, and then you can have another additional 15% for 45% with an additional 28 condition damage and 15% bleed duration. And I decided to actually look at this one, which gives you precision and 10% condition damage, because the difference in bleeding and condition, if people don't know, condition damage actually, what it does is that it does for everything. So 10% for every condition that you put on, and as a Necro, you do a lot of condition damage for people who do not know. And so, you know, you can pick between these 3. The cheapest one here, if you want to just try it out to see how you feel, the crate is really cheap on the market. I think it's the reason why is because it only gives the 6th tier gives 100 power to underwater, and who cares about underwater? I mean, really. You know, sorry if you guys like underwater combat, but I just don't like it. Well, now they made it kind of better, so I might be eating my words here. They made it that your basic attack now does AoE underwater, so it's a little bit better. They just patched that up for people who did not know. So underwater, if you haven't been underwater in a while because you don't like it just like me, it's a little bit better now because your basic attack, your 1 skill does AoE now. I heard it was patched a couple weeks ago, and I didn't even notice that. For my weapons here, as I was just trying out crit damage, this one inflicts bleeding for 5 seconds, which is good. So if you have these on, you know, you could stack with the bleeding with all this. So you have bleeding here, you know, and plus your weapon does bleeding as well. And I have critical chance because I have only 41%. You know, the bleeding will just do a lot of damage over time. And for me, the reason why I like Necro so much is because the numbers, it's so exciting seeing all the numbers from all the mobs just dying, just popping out of their skulls. Is awesome. Other two that you can choose is 10% bleeding duration, which is really good, and corruption. You get every time you kill an enemy, which is, this is a PvE build, so enemies will be easy to stack with. 25 stacks, so you have 250 extra condition damage than what you already have here. So that's really good. The reason why I don't put on both weapons is that it doesn't stack with each other. Oh no, it does stack with each other. No, that's not what I'm saying. If you couldn't actually, there's another one with power as well, where it stacks power. And if you put one on this one, like if I put one on my dagger and I put corruption on this one and the power on this one, it doesn't stack with each other at all. If people didn't know that. So you can't have 25 stacks of power and 25 stacks of condition damage. Just for, you know, a little food for thought there. I didn't know that before, so it's good that I can share my knowledge with you guys, for people who are just getting to level 80 and don't know really how it works. Now, just the basics for people who don't know. When you're doing a build for PvE, for people who play like a lot of PvE, it's about your exotics here. There's a bunch of stuff to choose from depending on what you're going for any character. It's all about which armor. For me, I put Carrion, which gives power, vitality, and condition damage. So for people who are not familiar with builds, definitely look into which armor you want to go into, which set you want to go into, because it really helps your build. And you can mix and match like I did. Like for this I have Carrion, and for this I have like the Emerald, which is power, precision, and toughness. So you can mix and match. You don't have to go like a lot of people do, like all Carrion for instance, and you know, you just get a bunch of condition damage and vitality and power. Hopefully this video wasn't too long for you guys. It was just me blabbing about, you know, the Necro and the different builds you can do, and I just love talking about getting the best, you know, output of my damage and AoE, because I just love the AoE with the Necro. Anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a like, leave a comment, say what's up in the comment section below, and stay visual.